Welcome to my YouTube channel, everyone. So I've recently been to Japan and had the opportunity to visit the Nintendo World at the Universal Studios in Osaka, and it was a very special moment to me because growing up, the Nintendo and of course the Mario series were like huge parts of my gaming experience. I remember the NES Super Mario Bros. Was like one of the first games that I ever played, and I've always found the world, and the concept very immersive. And there were many times when, as a kid, I would imagine how it would be like, if I myself was in the Mushroom Kingdom. And of course, I really loved, the animated TV series, and I really enjoyed the live-action movie as well, back then. Even today, it's like one of my guilty pleasures sometimes. And of course, I will never forget the impact that the Mario 64 had on the gaming landscape in the 90s. It was so revolutionary and mind-blowing. So naturally, going to the Nintendo World was like a big deal to me, and I was very excited to do it. If you're going there for the first time, it can be a little bit confusing in terms of buying the tickets. So first thing you need to understand is that the Nintendo World is an area within the Universal Studios. So in order for you to get in, you need to buy the studio pass, or like the park entry ticket. So that will allow you to pass the gates of the Universal Studios. And once you're in, make sure that you get the timed entry e-tickets, specifically for the Nintendo World area. And those are for free, so don't worry about spending anything extra. Just to let you know, it's crazy busy there, even on weekdays. And especially the Nintendo World area, which is like the most popular area at the Universal Studios. So you really need to plan and book your visit in advance. I remember we passed the gates at around 7:30 in the morning, and it was already completely packed, and when we got our timed entry e-tickets for the Nintendo World, it gave us a slot at around 5 in the afternoon. So imagine how busy it was. It really felt like some people were camping overnight outside of the gates or something, So yeah, we had like half a day, to do other stuff, at the Universal Studios, which was really cool because there are other things to do, other areas, and attractions, restaurants and shows and stuff like that. And I remember one of the best attractions was the Biohazard, or how we know it in the West, Resident Evil. It's an interactive, attraction with actors and sets and stuff like that, and it's just crazy fun, That's all I'm gonna say. And of course, I really liked the Spider-Man ride, which combines 4D and VR technology. I think that was something definitely to remember. So when it was finally our time to visit the Nintendo World, the first thing we did was to get to buy the power-up bands, and you need those in order to interact with the environment and play various games that they have there. And so you enter the Nintendo World through a green tube, of course, that has this sound from the video game. And when you are on the other side, you find yourself at the Princess Peach's castle, which actually remind me of the castle from Mario 64. And so when you get out of the castle, you face the view of the Mushroom Kingdom in all its glory, and wow, like it's amazing. I was like completely immersed, it really felt like I was in the video game. Even if you're not a gamer and didn't grow up with the series, I think you will still be very impressed. I really felt like a kid, like with all the piranha plants and the Goombas, the music, everything, the place really felt alive, and of course it was really, really crowded, and extremely busy. So the first ride we decided to try was Yoshi's Adventure. And of course, the queue there was absolutely brutal, and what annoyed me was that it could have been faster, and shorter. It's just they decided to put like an interactive box at some point of the queue, and so everybody was like stopping there to take pictures and videos, and like when you've been standing in the queue for an hour and you reach that point and you see what's been slowing the queue down, that can really make you snap, So Yoshi's Adventure is a slow ride for kids, and it's really all about the view and the visuals, It's really cute, and I really felt like I was 8 years old again, It basically takes you through the Nintendo World installations and gives you like a closer look at the details, you know. And overall, it's a very pleasant ride. You know, like I said, it's all about the visuals and the view. And personally, I really enjoyed it. So after we finished with Yoshi's Adventure, we decided to go for some snacks, you know, and we had some Yoshi-themed drinks, which were actually really delicious. And of course, we had the popcorn in the Star Power Up. And what's cool about it is that it's actually a room light, you know, that you can take home, you know, and it's a really cool souvenir to have, I think. So because of the long queue at Yoshi's Adventure, we realized that we are running out of time, you know, and we have to decide, you know, between going to the Mario Kart ride or trying the food at Kinopio's Cafe. And we decided to go on the ride because we thought it would be something a bit more impactful and memorable. Needless to say, the queue for Mario Kart was absolutely insane. I think we had to stand in the queue for something like an hour, as I remember, and you know, the queue is basically taking you through the Bowser's castle, through Koopa's castle, as he is known in Japan. And the deeper you go, the more interesting it gets. And it really feels like you are entering in some real-life video game or something, you know, like the detail, you know, the sets are just incredible. So before the ride, you know, they give you this helmet to wear, and then you have to watch a tutorial about the ride, because this ride is very interactive, you know, like basically you attach a visor to your helmet. And there's a lot of VR going on, a lot of buttons to press, you know. It really feels like you are in a Mario Kart game yourself, you know, and let me tell you, like, you will never experience a Mario Kart game like that anywhere else, you know. I was really impressed, you know. Sometimes the visuals were just incredible, you know, and they really made my sphincter, you know, tight. Overall, I would say that the Mario Kart ride is definitely worth it, you know, and once you're on it, you completely forget about the long queue that you had to survive, you know. The ride is just incredible, you know, and it was an amazing experience, and I really enjoyed it. So once we finished with the Mario Kart ride, we decided to give it another shot and try and see if we could get in the Kinopio's Cafe. And luckily, they actually let us in, you know, and we were like some of the last customers there. And I'm so glad, you know, that I got to experience this, you know, like the design inside is amazing, like, you know, the detail and everything. It really feels like you're in the Mushroom Kingdom, you know. So we decided to order and share a couple of different dishes, you know. So of course we got the Mario Burger, then we also got the mushroom soup, Yoshi's spinach carbonara, and you know, this cake with a checkpoint flag on it. So the Mario Burger was actually really good, you know, but the thing is that we already had like a better burger at another restaurant at the Universal Studios that day. But nevertheless, it was really good, you know, and tasty, you know, and the presentation, of course, was very unique. Yeah, I personally, I liked it, you know, but I can't say it was like the best burger of my life, you know. The mushroom soup was really nice, you know, very creamy and tasty. But I think the highlight was definitely Yoshi's spinach carbonara. That carbonara was like one of the best carbonara I've ever had in my life, you know. And it had like, you know, mushrooms and this poached egg, you know, that you would break, you know. It was like a dream, you know, like I'm telling you, like definitely order that, you know, if you go there. The cake wasn't bad, you know, but it's just I'm not a big fan of this type of cakes, you know. Personally, I prefer traditional homemade cakes like the Russian honey cake or the Napoleon cake. But it wasn't bad, I would say. Overall, the food at Kinopio's Cafe is really tasty, you know, it's good quality, and of course it has an amazing and unique presentation, you know, and personally, I really enjoyed this experience, you know, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So by the time we finished eating, and, you know, like because of all the long queues previously, we didn't have time to play all of these interactive games, you know, and challenges that require you to use the power-up bands, you know, so those were kind of useless to us. But you can take them home, you know, and they make a great souvenir, I think, you know, to remind you of your visit to the Nintendo World. So overall, I was really impressed with the Nintendo World in Japan, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, it has a bigger appeal to me because I'm a gamer and a fan of the Mario series, but even if you're not, I still think you will enjoy it, no doubt. And one of the things that I think is worth mentioning is the people who work there. You know, the staff is doing an incredible job. You know, the Japanese are just on the next level in terms of service, you know, and make you feel welcomed. And they are just, you know, a huge part of the whole experience at the Nintendo World, and of course the whole Universal Studios Park. Now, there are a couple of things that I would try and improve if it was up to me, like for example the ridiculously long queues. I would maybe make the Express Pass tickets a bit more affordable, because right now the prices are sky high, and you know, when you travel in Japan, you need money for food, accommodation, transport, and stuff like that. So, like, not everyone can afford buying the Express Pass tickets for the Universal Studios. Honestly, I barely saw anyone using them because they are really expensive. Now, the other thing that I would try and improve are the seats on the rides, because in Japan, you know, it's as if they are designed for kids, you know, or small skinny adults. You know, if you are a fully grown adult like me, and I'm not even that thick, you know, you will have a hard time locking the safety bars. There were times when we had to hold them down, you know, pretending they are locked, which is not the safest thing to do, you know, especially on the faster rides. So I would definitely look into maybe redesigning those. Something on a bit more positive note, they've already announced a Donkey Kong expansion for the Nintendo World. And I'm really excited about it. You know, I've already seen some images online, you know, and it looks amazing, you know, and I really want to see how the rides are going to be like, you know, and the food. I think it's gonna be great. Also, can you imagine, like, if they would expand with other Nintendo franchises like Zelda and Pokemon? Can you imagine like a full Nintendo World, you know, with all of its franchises? I think it would have been absolutely insane. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my other vids, and until next time.